Muy buenas noches, mi nombre es Rodrigo del Ángel Magaña Olivares, soy un estudiante del Instituto Tecnológico de Chetumal. Mi docente es Alejandro Sansores y hoy les voy a exponer acerca de Atlantis. What is Atlantis? It was a myth that speaks of Plato for the first time. The myth tells of continent tangent inhabited by the Atlantes. Its geography is not a rugged except for a large upload-shaped plain measured 3,000 by 2,000 stadium surrounded by mountains of the sea. Legend tells the story of Laceran civilization that lived on an island below the pillar of Hercules. He climbed to visit the his alone, who 200 years earlier claimed to have her in Egypt, that the island had been destroyed to the west as a result of a great cataclysm that submerged in the waters at just a few hours. Evenor the first inhabitant of the Atlantis, and it was born from the ground. According to the greatest, Evenor had a daughter named Leto. Poseidon fell in love with Cleito, and to protect from her, or quit her captivity, he created three rings of the water around the mountain he has long lived. Did Atlantis exist? Spanish researchers have discovered archaeological evidence near the coast of Gibraltar. A team of scientists from the University of Wuppertal in Germany claims to have found the remains of the city. In 1977, during an excavation, a chest has found that contained jewels, plates with inscriptions and talismans from the Atlanteans. A National Geographic team has discovered many evidence of the city newest of Kyres. The Atlantic Ocean is connected with Atlantis because it is said as around that this huge sunken continent exists there forever, alt with main water in the Nahuatl language. It's also identified by the fabulous name Atlantiad, and it's believed that his boy come from there. However, until now, no one has been able to locate where certain the place of the sea or the land here Atlantis was, which they say was a country of wonders, of the great cultural and ancient advances, and is said that Atlant race disappeared forever. Swollen by the waters, it remains in a free-fall category, and as tormentions and destroys of the flow, Isel and yet, stories and legends surveyed than some on the race and peoples, then came to Mesoamerica, especially the Maya, here originally from the lost continent. The main be descendants and survivors of these Atlanteans, the peoples who arise in Mesoamerica bringing their culture that, even today, amazes the most heredity and filled with questions regarding how they could do this and how those prodigious of buildings, carving sculpture, transporting extremely heavy monoliths and construction material, how they come to the human language on astronomy, arithmetic, the calendar, the arts, and God mistake. They say they heard in remote times, when the war and the sea and another front, a formidable country that was located on the continent of Lemuria, flourished on the west side. The east, the Pacific Sea, the Lemurs had reached near perfection in lands, arts, culture, religions, society, etc. That the most fundamentally cataclysm is living memory occurring, the seas rose, the mountains revolted, the continents sat, and other lands arose, and the maze of death, frightful chaos, so managed to survive. To escape became to the stormy oceans, aboard ships boarded on the last humanity and with grey haze. As it's logical to suppose it, the lemurs arrived on the coast of what is now America. On east shores of the Pacific Ocean, they brought their customs and country and settled, announced the belongings to the Incas and Easter Island, along the coast that gave them asylum and protection, and place of their new settlement. Drowned when they announced the Gulf of Mexico, various groups from the Atlantis arrived. Men members of the peoples from the same land but from different nations and there are many here calling Americas coming from along land around the Mayas, the Totonacs, the Mexicans or Zapotecs have the ignite language constants a cultural difference. The Teotihuacanos entered the hill lands, fearing a new cataclysm that could hit the coast, shaking safety, and a heap that could keep them away from a new disaster. And thank you for paying attention, and I could see you the next time.